What's going on, guys? Rob Pizzo back with your North Division roundup. And yes, we're coming at you a day early this week. That's because we have Easter weekend coming up. So let's look back at the week that was in the North. And when I do that, one word comes to mind. Interesting. For starters, COVID man made his way to Vancouver. 2 players and a member of the coaching staff were placed on the COVID protocol list, forcing the league to postpone the Canucks game against the Flames on Wednesday night, about 90 minutes before puck drop. Now, this is the second time in less than 2 weeks that the North Division has been impacted by COVID-19, and the league's plans moving forward with the Canucks still have not been announced. But when you throw in the delayed games the Habs had last week, well, the schedule is going to start looking very, very condensed. Speaking of the Habs, let's move on to a really weird game in Montreal. You had the Oilers, who were fresh off an overtime win against the Toronto Maple Leafs, taking on the Habs, who hadn't even laced up their skates in 9 days because of COVID protocol. But there was absolutely no rust present on this night. The Habs scored 18 seconds in and just kept their foot on the gas. And that's when the Oilers, and specifically Connor McDavid, got a little frustrated. Number 97, clearly not happy at, well, let's call this a hook by Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and he responded with this elbow to the head. Now, when you check out the replay, you see it, McDavid completely ignoring the puck. Now, the Habs would go on to win the game 4-0, and Connor McDavid would end up with a 2-minute roughing penalty and a $5,000 fine. All right, next up, Johnny Goudreau, who hit a milestone this week with 2 assists in his 500th game. But it's what was said before that game by Flames head coach Daryl Sutter that had everybody talking.
Johnny Goudreau plays 500 games tonight at the NHL level. I'm just wondering, mostly as a guy who's coached against him and now working with him, what have your kind of impressions been of the career he's made so far, and then what are you looking to see out of him now at this point?
Well, if you're just basing on his 500th game tonight, hopefully he has more energy than in his 499th game.
The man is always honest. All right, the battle for first in this division may not only come down to the last game, but the last period of the season. Take a look at this week. The Leafs were down 3-1 in the third period against the Oilers, but won in OT.
And here comes Morgan Riley. Austin Matthews over front scores!
And I know this is the North Division roundup, but every couple weeks I like to mix it up and throw in some stories from outside the division. Patrick Marlow continues to climb the all-time games played list. In fact, he moved past Mark Messier this week and now sits only behind Gordie Howe. Now, barring an injury or a COVID delay, he should pass Mr. Hockey very soon. But with the trade deadline quickly approaching, will he do it as a Shark? Speaking of climbing lists, Alexander Ovechkin has been on fire. He's now back in the Rocket Richard discussion, and he's within striking distance of catching Marcel Dion for 5th on the all-time list. And the quote of the week has to go to Erik Karlsson.
All right, Eric, is that the best offensive game you've ever had? 2 goals and essentially a hat trick when the game winner in the shootout?
Not even close.
All right, taking a look at the schedule. As of right now, those Canucks games are a go. But obviously, they are very much in question. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week.